The chamber was hushed, the kind of silence that presses against your chest and makes every breath feel heavier. Cameras clicked softly, eyes darted from one bench to another, and all anyone expected was the same rehearsed rhythm of judicial formality. But then it happened. Justice Stephen Breyer leaned forward, his tone sharper, his words uncharacteristically unguarded. "She is brilliant," said his voice carrying across the room like a gavel strike that no one saw coming. For a split second, time seemed to stop. The compliment wasn't whispered in private. It wasn't buried in legal jargon. It was clear, unfiltered, undeniable. Justice Breyer, a man whose career had spanned decades, whose reputation was built on restraint, had just declared what's so. Many had dismissed, denied, or ignored. Jasmine Crockett was brilliant. Across the room, Crockett froze. Her eyes widened, not in vanity but in sheer disbelief. She had walked into this chamber, bracing herself for another uphill climb, for another round of being underestimated, another battle to be heard over the weight of legacy and condescension. Yet in that single moment the air shifted. Gasps rippled. Through the audience, a reporter nearly dropped his pen. One law clerk glanced at another, their eyebrows raised in shock. Even Breyer himself seemed to feel the gravity of what he had said, as if the words had broken free from him before he could catch them. This wasn't supposed to happen. A justice of Breyer's stature didn't casually hand out praise, especially not to someone who represented the very future the establishment had often tried to contain. And yet, here it was, a truth too raw to be taken back. For Crockett, the moment was surreal. She felt the weight of generations pressing against her shoulders. The voices of those who had been silenced or sidelined echoing in that pause. Be called brilliant here, in this space that had so often been hostile, was more than personal validation. It was a crack in the marble walls of power. But as the murmurs began to spread, one question lingered in every mind. Was this an olive branch? Or was it the opening strike of something far more calculated? Because what Justice Breyer said next would shake the courtroom and the nation. The compliment hung in the air like smoke after a gunshot, and the chamber could not seem to clear it. This was not just another routine exchange, not another dry legal acknowledgement filed away in transcripts. It was a declaration that cut straight into the heart of America's fiercest debates, who deserves to be recognized, whose voices count, and whose brilliance is deemed undeniable. For years, Jasmine Crockett had been branded by critics as loud, unrefined, too bold for the polished world of Washington. She was the woman whose